Hey everyone, in today's video, I'd like to walk you through my entire PlayStation 4 game collection. Now, as you see here, I have a lot of physical games for the PlayStation 4, and I do enjoy collecting for it. There's a lot of reasons for that. So right now, PlayStation 4 games are pretty cheap. A lot of the stores are looking to get rid of their inventory to make way for PlayStation 5 or Xbox Series X games or Switch games, so you can usually find these games at quite a discount. Also, most of these games are upscaled once you insert it into your PlayStation 5. So it's a win-win all around. So today I'm going to go through 106 PlayStation 4 games that I have, along with some of the ones that I recommend you playing if you haven't already. And we'll also go through some of my more obscure ones in the collection as well. Let's check it out. Okay, so beginning with the PlayStation 4 collection today, the first game we have is called 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim. Now, this is a game that's published by Atlas, and I believe it's developed by Vanillaware. This has a very unique premise to it, where you play as there are 8 or 12 different characters. They all have different storylines that occur across different periods of time, usually within about 50 to 100 years of each other. And what you have to do is you have to play as each character, but as you go through it, there are certain parts where the story locks until you progress with different characters. So it's kind of like a revolving door, if you will, of characters that you have to play through. And then once you start unlocking various points with other characters, you can get access to the greater story as a whole. Now, in between the story narrative, it's a lot of vibes like you're going to school, kind of like Persona 5. So you're in a school talking to people, investigating things. But then in between these segments, you have elements of the gameplay where you're actually inside these mobile mechs called the Aegis, and you're able to fight off a other mech invasion, if you will. It's pretty interesting what they did here. This is one of those games I did 100% complete, and I received the Platinum Trophy for it. It was a very rewarding experience. If you haven't played this one, check it out. I believe it's also on Nintendo Switch, might also be on the Xbox, but definitely worth checking out if you haven't played this one before. Assassin's Creed Black Flag 4. I love this game. So this is the first Assassin's Creed game that introduced the whole notion of piracy and curtailing the high seas. I remember having such a fun time with this one, sailing across the water, collecting various resources to enhance my wealth, buying up other boats or ships and having them go out on exploration missions for me to get more gold. This was just a lot of fun to play with. I kind of gotten burnt on the Assassin's Creed franchise for a while. A lot of those games felt like they were more the same. This was a breath of fresh air. Highly recommend this if you haven't played it before. Then we have Assassin's Creed Syndicate. I have not played this one. It looks like it takes place in London in the late 1800s. This is a game that was donated to me for free, so I'm sure I'll play it at some point. And similar, Assassin's Creed Unity, same thing. It was donated to me. A lot of these Assassin's Creed games start being more of the same over time. If you've played this one or the Syndicate one, please let me know in the comments. Astrobot. Now, this is a virtual reality game. I spent a little bit of time with this. It's a great platformer. I know that a lot of the Astrobot gameplay has been upscaled, or I'm sorry, it's been upshown by the Astrobot game that came out on PlayStation 5, Astro Boy, or whatever it's called. This is a fun game in its own right. Um, the VR part of it, so VR, I can only play for so long before I start to feel motion sickness. This was no exception, but it was a beautiful game to play, beautiful to look at through the lens of VR. Definitely worth checking out if you have a PlayStation VR for your PlayStation 4. Quick note, the PlayStation VR 2 for PlayStation 5, it's not backwards compatible with these games, so you're going to need the PlayStation 4 variety of the VR system, but definitely worth checking out if you're into VR games. Next, we have a Japanese title. So I actually was in Tokyo, Japan several years ago. I was only there for a few days. But part of it when I was there was I was on a mission to find exclusive games only released in Japan that we never got in North America. This is one of them, Basara 4. So this is basically kind of like the Dynasty Warriors series. I went in there, and the thing that's different about these games too, aside from the language differences, is that usually what we think of as the X button being the action, it's typically the circle button for them in Japan. So it was a little different getting used to that. I put in a little bit of time with this one, but being it's all in Japanese, I didn't really understand what was going on, and I did my best to fumble through the different screens and progress the story. But definitely fun one to get into, and I'm definitely going to have to check it out again at some point. Another VR games. This is Batman Arkham VR. This was a lot of fun. So this is more of a detective style of Batman game. It has you exploring different things like crime scenes, going into a morgue, looking at dead bodies. It was a lot of fun. And the detective side of Batman, I feel like they first introduced that in the video games, at least with the whole Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, Arkham Knight series of games. Before then, Batman, as we know it, was more so just the beat 'em up style Batman. But the part that people tend to forget about is that Batman's also a detective. So, very cool to have the detective element in this game. And this is worth checking out if you haven't played it before. I believe it's exclusive to the PlayStation as well. You can't find it on the other VR systems, if I'm correct. Next up, we have Battlefield 1. This is a game I played, I think, when it first came out. I'm not one of those guys that goes gung ho for the new Battlefields or new Call of Duty games. I usually tend to wait until they come out and then I casually play them. I don't really play them online with people, I just play the single campaigns. But this is one that I got many, many years ago. I played it. It was fun. I enjoyed going through it. I can't remember the story. I honestly don't think it matters. You just grab a gun and shoot some stuff, throw some grenades, but I had a fun time with this one. In a similar vein, we have Battlefield 4. I don't think I've played this one. I think this was again one that was donated to me, but I'm expecting to be more of the same of what you'd expect from a Battlefield game. The back of it on the artwork, it looks pretty cool. It looks like it's a little bit more modern, like you're blowing up stuff and shooting boats in water and stuff. So I think I'll have fun with it. I just need to find the time to play it. Here's another VR game. This one is unopened. This is called Blood and Truth. Now, I've not played this one, but it looks like it's kind of like you're playing through an action movie and you are the hero. So the reason I haven't played it really is just because I get motion sickness a little bit with VR. Haven't really had the ambition or drive yet to get into a game like this, especially if it's more action oriented. It'll probably make me feel really sick. But it sounds pretty awesome. And it's a game that I had looked at on the eShop for a long time, and then it went on sale one of these Black Fridays. I think I paid $10 for it, so I'll definitely play it at some point. But if you've played this one, let me know in the comments, please. This next game needs no introduction. It is Bloodborne. It is the Souls-like exclusive that was only released on PlayStation 4. This game is outstanding. I'd probably say this is a 10 out of 10 game. I played it many years ago. I can't remember if I beat it or not. I'm pretty certain I did not beat it. But I know there are also other special bosses or additional add-on bosses that you can fight at the end of the game too. Like some old dude sitting in the corner of your hideout area ends up being like a final boss too. Spoiler alert. Haven't finished it, but definitely a fun one. Next up, we have Borderlands, the Handsome Collection. So this includes Borderlands, the pre-sequel, and Borderlands 2. I played Borderlands 2 on here. I hadn't really played Borderlands before this game. I know people are huge fans of the Borderlands series. And I'll be honest, this game didn't really draw me in like I was expecting it to. I don't know what it was. Like, just something about it just didn't pull me in like I was expecting to be pulled in. I'm probably missing something. Maybe I need to go play the first one before trying the second one. But if you disagree with Borderlands, think it's awesome, please let me know. And let me know especially where to start at, because I'd like to get into this series. I just haven't yet. Next up, this game is still sealed. This is Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. I can't remember now if I actually purchased this one as it was on sale or if it came to me as a donation. Doesn't matter anyway. I'll play it at some point. But again, I'll play it mainly as the single player campaign, not really into the whole multiplayer aspect of Call of Duty. People just tend to be too competitive, and I'm more of a casual player. Next up, Darksiders 2, Definitive Edition. So I recently started playing the first Darksiders on Xbox. I think I have Darksiders 2 over there as well. I honestly can't remember. So it's to be determined if I play this version on PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, or if I go with the Xbox version. But I've heard that these series are pretty fun. I'm having a good time so far with the first Darksiders game that I'm playing. Very much the style of a beat 'em up hack and slash sort of game. Just real good mindless fun, and I enjoy it. It's kind of like a God of War site type of gameplay. Next up's a game called Daymare 1998. So I actually picked this up because it was recommended by another YouTuber named Radical Reggie. He does a lot of posts about horror games, survival horror, but also fighting and what have you. So this is one that he recommended. It was on sale for about $10 or $12, brand new. So I picked it up. I spent probably 30 minutes to an hour with it. Didn't really pull me in, but who's to say I don't get back into it at some point? Again, I like playing these types of games, especially during the month of October as we lead into Halloween. So I'm sure I'll give this one another fair shake at some point. The next one is Death Stranding. So I picked this one up used at a GameStop a few years ago. I haven't gotten into it yet, but it's one that I'm definitely going to plan on playing at some point. If you've played this one, let me know your thoughts in the comments, please. Destiny the Taken King. So I remember when Destiny was not a free game and you had to drop $60 for this. I didn't pay that. I think I got this for maybe 10 or 15 if I'm not mistaken, but I do remember playing this one on the early days of the PlayStation 4. It was pretty fun. I'm usually not a big fan of the looter shooter genre of games, but I had a bunch of buddies that were playing this, so I got online and played with them. I had a good time with it. Is it a game that I'm going to go back and revisit anytime soon? No, but for what it was at the time, I had fun with it. Destroy All Humans. So this is the remake, remaster of an older game that I think came out on the Xbox, if I'm not mistaken. I have not played this yet. I think I played it when it was briefly on Game Pass, or maybe it was on the PlayStation Network at one point. Can't remember. So I played it for maybe a few minutes, but this copy is um, still in sealed condition, but I plan on playing it at some point. Detroit Become Human. So for the longest time, this was a PlayStation exclusive. I believe you can now find it on Steam as well. This was pretty interesting what they did here with the whole dynamic or dichotomy between humanity and machines. It's very relevant today with what we're seeing in the news around AI and intelligent machine learning. This one especially, you started to introduce consciousness to the machines, and if they're able to kind of break the cycle of the machine circuitry that they have. Very interesting game. I recommend giving it a try if you haven't played it before. The next game we have, Dishonored 2. This is the limited edition version. So I briefly played the first Dishonored. I know that people are huge fans of this game. I've not played the second one. I look forward to getting into it at some point. But if you played this, please let me know in the comments. Next up is Doom 3 VR Edition. So I do like the Doom games, and playing it on VR was definitely a fun time. I don't know if this has come out on other platforms. It probably came out on PC, if I'm being honest. But this is definitely a fun one to check out. Did get a little bit of motion sickness playing it, but still. When else are you going to be able to play Doom in VR? Pretty cool premise, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so I'm looking at the case because that's Doom 3 VR, and this is Doom VFR. So this is more or less Doom in VR again. I think I actually played this one, not this one. It doesn't matter. I mean, it's Doom VR. You can't go wrong with either one you pick. Dragon Ball Xenoverse. I have not played this one. This is one that was again donated to me. I look forward to getting into it at some point. I do like the Dragon Ball series, so I'm sure I'll have a good time with this one. Drive Club VR. This is pretty fun, especially when you play in first person mode. You're able to see everything inside the car. You're able to see the odometer, the speedometer. Or is that one the same? I don't know. But you're able to see cars in front of you as you shift and change gears. It's really fun, especially as you go around turns and corners. I had fun playing this, and it was cool looking out your window and seeing mountains or snow falling, rain falling, or whatever. Definitely a fun one. Dying Light is a game I played many years ago in co-op mode with a buddy of mine. I haven't played it since. I do need to get back into it because I'm sure I'll enjoy it. This again might be one of those games that I save for the month of October as we get closer to Halloween. This is called Exist Archive. I don't know anything about this game other than they also released it on PlayStation Vita. I am trying to acquire all the PlayStation Vita games that I can, so I was watching it there for a while, but I also had this in my cart on Amazon. This one price dropped down to like $8 or something ridiculously low. I pulled the trigger and bought it. I'll play it at some point, but I honestly know nothing about it. So it looks like it might be an RPG. Yeah, modern fantasy RPG. So I'll give it a try at some point. Fallout 4. This was the game of the year about a decade ago. I had a lot of fun with this. I don't think I actually finished it 100% towards the end. I know that I was getting really close to a final boss battle and I got distracted with other things, but definitely a really fun game. I'm looking forward to going back and exploring this a little bit more. Far Cry Force. This is the first Far Cry game that I ever played, and I enjoyed it. Now, it does follow that Ubisoft sort of model of rinse and repeat, more of the same sort of thing that you have to do. So, a lot of the missions, a lot of the playthroughs, it starts to feel rather repetitive, just like what you'd expect from like an Assassin's Creed title. But I like just messing around the open world. I liked finding different vehicles I could drive. I liked finding what sort of trouble I could get into. I had a lot of fun with this. It was a great entry into Far Cry for me. Next up, we have Far Cry 6. This is still sealed. I have not opened this one. So I know I just showed you number 4. Number 5, I actually own over on the Xbox. I spent a lot of time with Far Cry 5. Really had a good time playing that one. Far Cry 6, though, I heard that it wasn't really all that good. Kind of a disappointing entry in the franchise. For that reason, that's why I haven't opened it up and taken the time commitment yet of playing this one. But if you've played it, let me know. I'm curious to know your thoughts on this one. Farpoint. This is a first person shooter VR game. I had fun with this. I don't think I got too far into it. I know I played it for a few hours, maybe 3 or 4 max, but I'm interested in getting back into this one and seeing where it goes cuz when you start out, you're on a foreign planet. It kind of feels like Mars. Maybe it is Mars, I don't know. But there are aliens that are there and you're trying to make your way through and basically just survive, and I had fun with it. I'd like to revisit it at some point. Next, I'm going to cheat and do 2 games at the same time. So this is FIFA 17 and FIFA 18. I'm not really the biggest fan of soccer in general. I'm more of a casual fan. These are ones that I picked up on the Facebook Buy Nothing group that we have in our area. Someone was giving them away, so I said, sure, why not? I'll play them. It's FIFA. I mean, what else do you expect from soccer games? Here's another game I picked up while I was in Japan. So this is called Fighting Climax Ignition. Now, at the time, this was a exclusive game only found in Japan. I think maybe it's since been released in North America. I'd have to look into that to double check. But again, at the time, the reason I bought it was because I was specifically looking for exclusive games you could not find here at home. So that's why I picked it up. It's a fighting game. It's very much an anime y type of game. It didn't really pull me in, but I didn't care. I just wanted something as exclusive that none of my friends here had. So happy to have this in the collection. Final Fantasy 15. I know this one's controversial. People either loved it or hated it. I know there were a lot more people out there that hated it. And when it first was released, it was a little bit buggy. They did make some improvements with patch updates over the many months since its release. I played it and I didn't hate it. I mean, I didn't love it. It's not a game that I'm going to be talking about 20 years from now, but I had a good time with it. Specifically, what I loved about this game, I'm chuckling because I remember there was a side quest where there was some endangered animal, some giant beast, and you went on a hunting mission to basically slay this beast. And what'd you do with the meat from the beast? You put it in crappy $1 cup of ramen noodles and talked about how great the noodles were. I laugh because it's such a paradox, but I had fun with this game. I do have the more recent Final Fantasy that came out on PlayStation 5. I also heard kind of mixed reviews about that too, but I'll get to that at some point. This game I love. Ghost of Tsushima. Love, love, love this game. If you have not played it, please go out and get yourself a copy. It's also on PlayStation 5, and I believe it's also included now on Steam. I can't say enough great things about this game. They got everything down and right about this game, from the combat to the movement to the story to the overall setting, the look, the feel of the game, everything about it. This is a perfect 10 out of 10 game. Go check it out if you haven't. Now, other people also would call this a 10 out of 10 game. This is God of War. I honestly wasn't that big a fan of the remakes here. I am more of a fan of the ancient Greece, ancient Rome, antiquity sort of Kratos that's killing the gods of Mount Olympus. I didn't really feel the whole vibe of this Nordic spinoff. I know people loved it, they loved the storytelling. This didn't really pull me in like the originals, and I don't know why it was. I also have God of War Ragnarok on PlayStation 5. I haven't played it yet for the same reason. Like, for me, there's just something so rewarding about the first God of War trilogy, especially God of War 3. There was nothing like that opening part where you're killing Poseidon or Neptune or whatever he's called in that game, and literally pulling him from the ocean and attacking him. I loved that. This, maybe it's because I'm not as familiar with the Nordic deities. I studied Latin in school, so I mean, I know a lot of the Roman mythology pretty well. So I think maybe that's why I connected more to the original three God of War games. But I know people still love this. I don't love it, but I don't hate it either. Gran Turismo Sport is next up. This is still sealed. This is a VR game. I've not played it yet, mainly because I'm worried about the motion sickness, but it looks beautiful on the back. I'm sure I would have a great time with it, and I'll check it out at some point. Next up, this game needs no introduction. Grand Theft Auto 5. This is another game that I would call a 10 out of 10 game. It was perfect on its own. I know that initially when it came out, people were kind of in uproar about the whole thing with three different protagonists and switching between them, myself included. I didn't really understand how that would be pulled off. It works. They found a way to do it. I still think I'm a fan of just one single main character as the protagonist, but hey, they had they did such a great job with all three of the characters here. They're all memorable. They have interesting storylines. Trevor is a complete psycho lunatic. Um, Single player of this, the main campaign, excellent. And then you have the online version also. I pumped so much time into online, and I was so good with that game. I remember playing with my buddies, and I was at the point where I could literally shoot helicopters and planes out of the air with just a pistol. Like, that's how much time I put in that game where I was able to do stuff like that. I'm nowhere near that skilled with it these days, but I really loved everything about this. I loved exploring the open world, interacting with the NPCs, just seeing what kind of trouble you could get into. I can't say enough great things about this game, and I'm super excited for Grand Theft Auto 6 whenever that finally comes out. Next up, still sealed, still has the price tag on it from Walmart. This is a Hello Neighbor 2 copy. I got this one the last month or so. I basically was buying games, saw this on sale, picked it up. I don't really know much about this. I think this is also currently on Game Pass right now, so I'll play it over there and keep this copy sealed. But if you played this, let me know. Next up, I played this game recently and I have a live playthrough of it on my channel. This is Hidden Agenda. So basically, with this, you have to pair your phone or your mobile device with a code from the game, and you follow along with basically the cinematic movie, and you have to control your main character, the protagonist, through your phone or iPad or whatever, and basically make choices for them of how to respond, how to act, whatever. And it's kind of like the game Until Dawn in that respect, how you there's a butterfly effect to your choices. But I did do a playthrough of it. I spent about an hour and a half with it and beat the game. The full playthrough from start to finish is available on the live stream playlist of my channel. Go ahead and feel free to watch it there. But I know there are other ways that this game could possibly go and end from how I played it. And maybe I'll play it again at some point and try a whole complete different style of gameplay. But this was an interesting game. I'd call it probably a budget title. Like, again, I'm not going to say go out and get yourself a copy of this. This is the greatest thing ever. No. It was entertainment. It was entertaining, and for the $5 I paid for it and the hour and a half of enjoyment I got out of it, yeah, I'll take that. Next up, Horizon Zero Dawn. So I know people love this game. And as I look at it on the back and the front, there's 9 out of 10, 9.5 out of 10, 10 out of 10 ratings for this game. I played it for about an hour, booted it up, and I just couldn't get into it. I don't know why. It just didn't pull me in. I just didn't care. I know I'm missing out. I know people love this game. I know I'm probably an idiot for saying all this. I need to give it another shot, fair shake, but didn't do it for me. I'll try it again at some point. Let me know your thoughts on this one, and especially if you played the sequel also, the Forbidden West game. Curious to know what you think about these games. And now another VR game. This is Iron Man for VR. I've not opened this copy yet, but I think it'd be really fun to play as Iron Man, fly around. The back of the box shows you literally in the sky and using your, electricity or whatever, your heat from your hand to fight back at enemies and stuff. So I'm pretty sure this would be a lot of fun. Can't wait to play this at some point. So continuing on, here's a game called J Stars Victory versus Plus. It looks like it's a fighting game with a crossover between anime and manga. I know nothing about this. This is a game again that I got for free. It was donated to me. I'll check it out at some point, but if you've played this, let me know in the comments. Just Cause 3. I played this years ago, probably around 2015. It has a lot of that rinse and repeat sort of feel like an Ubisoft game would have. I enjoyed it, but it did start to feel repetitive after a certain point in time. I did beat the game, but frankly, I just like blowing up stuff, so that's more or less why I stuck with it. Here's another Japanese exclusive I picked up when I was in Tokyo. This is called Kamen Rider. Now, my understanding is that the Kamen Rider series is immensely popular overseas, and it was the inspiration for the Power Ranger series. This feels a lot like a Power Rangers game. It's got over the top action, people with helmets and masks on. There's a lot of motorcycle riding and stuff like that. I played this for maybe an hour or two, but I'm looking forward to getting back into it at some point. Next up, we have Kingdom Hearts 3. This is the first Kingdom Hearts game I ever played. I did beat this one. I know that people are huge fans of Kingdom Hearts. I like the creativity they put in here. I love how they mix different Disney franchise characters with the Square Enix franchise of characters. I will say though, maybe it's because I didn't play any previous games, but I was a little bit lost on some of the story elements, but didn't really bother me all that much. I think it'd probably be more enjoyable if I had played the other games to better understand what was going on. But I had a lot of fun with it. It felt like a Final Fantasy type of game, but with Disney characters. And it was really cool to explore the immersive Disney worlds they created here in this game. So I liked it. I wouldn't say it's like the best game ever, but I had fun with it. Next up, we have the Lego Marvel Collection. Now, this has Marvel Superheroes, The Avengers, and Marvel Superheroes 2. I do like the Lego games, but I feel like the market for these have kind of become a little oversaturated. You've got this, you've got the Star Wars Lego games, Indiana Jones, Harry Potter. I mean, you name it, they made it with Legos. So I played a little bit of this, didn't really get too deep into it, but I'll probably pick it up at some point again. Next up, we're going to cheat because we have some sports games. So it's Madden 15, Madden 16, Madden 19, still sealed. Madden games, I casually play them. I'm honestly not very good at them. I think I'm better at them than I am. I'm one of those people that I'll wait for them to go on sale. Usually, after they've been out for a few months, the price drops drastically. I've never been one of those types that runs to pick them up on day one and spend 60, 70, now $80 for a game. I casually play them. One of these, I forget which one it was. Maybe it was 16. It had a franchise mode where basically I went in and I just completely reshuffled every roster as you know it and created a draft based on that. And wow, it was weird having different characters like Tom Brady playing for the Commanders at the time. I was Washington Redskins with the Commanders and stuff like that. It was mind blowing doing that, and I had fun with that playing it that way. But I'm still pretty bad at football games. Next up, Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain. So when this game was released, it was broken. I think it still is. I don't think they ever actually finished it because I know the controversy around this is that Hideo Kojima was fired midway through the production of this game and never got to finish it. I think the reason why, if I remember correctly, was because he was going over on budget and project timeline, and you really can kind of see that in here. Like he poured a lot into it, a lot of the detail and aesthetics and what have you. The story honestly just tends to drop off, and it's very noticeable when that happens in the game. So I don't know if I actually finished or beat the game. I don't know what happens if you play all the way through. It's broken. I mean, what else could I do? I played up to the part before it broke, and then right when it broke, I'm like, ah, okay, I'm good. I think I went back and replayed certain things. Like I had fun just doing stealth missions or trying to capture different animals for my arc and what have you, my mother base or whatever it was called. But I know that this kind of became more human resource intensive as you started recruiting soldiers, and there was a lot of work that went into this with making sure you had the right personalities, making sure that people were trained the right way, making certain that certain skills were utilized on missions appropriately. So that became kind of a headache at one point, but if you kind of ignore that part and just focus on the actual stealth and action dynamics of the game, pretty good game. I liked it. I don't know if it's the best Metal Gear Solid game out there, but I had a good time with it. Okay, cheating again. Two for one here. So this is NBA 2K16, NBA 2K17. I did not buy these, they were donated to me. Haven't even played them. Now, back in the day, I was a huge fan of the NBA. I watched it around 1999, 2000, 2001. So it was the first Lakers dynasty. I was a big fan of Kobe and Shaq and all of that. Big fan of the NBA in general. I've since kind of retreated back into being more of a casual spectator slash don't really play the games all that much. But back in the day, I spent a lot of time with like NBA Live 2001, 2002, Kobe Bryant's NBA Courtside for Nintendo 64. So I like basketball games. I just haven't played one in a long time. So I'm sure I would like these even though they're dated. But what can you do? Here's a game called Need for Speed Rivals. I know there are so many Need for Speed games in that franchise. I really don't know anything about this or what differentiates it from the other Need for Speed games. You get in the car and you race around town. That's all you need to know. Haven't played this one, but I have played some of the other ones in the series. I don't know if I'm really missing out on not playing it. Let me know if I should. NHL 17, again, this was probably donated to me, or I got it when I bought a few other games. Haven't played it. I know I have some of these games digitally that if I feel like getting into a fist fight on the ice, I'll do that. But it's NHL, it's hockey. It's pretty fun. Here we have Nier Replicant. This version is still sealed. Now, I did try to play, I think it was Nier Automata, however you say it, on one of these systems. And I pumped in probably 10 or 12 hours with it, and it just didn't really suck me in like I was hoping it would. Probably go back and give it another shot. I do have Nier, the original Nier game on PlayStation 3, which at some point I'll do a video on my PlayStation 3 collection. But maybe I'll start there and then kind of build back in and go through all the games. But eventually I'll play this one. It's just not really a high priority for me right now. Here's another sealed game, and it's sealed because I have it digitally. This is Neo, and I've heard this is kind of like a Souls-like sort of game, difficult in nature. I'm not really too sure of that. But if you've played this, let me know. I think there's also a sequel to this game as well. But I'll give it a try at some point. I love these types of samurai sort of games from this era, so I'm sure I'll like this too whenever I get around to playing it. Here's a game I have on multiple systems. This is No Man's Sky. I was really excited to get this version because it should be compatible with the PlayStation VR, which I would love to just jump into and immerse myself with this world. So this again is another game that when it was first released, it was severely broken, but in time they patched it enough. They put out product support releases for it, where it's a very playable and enjoyable experience. And what I like about it is you're out there exploring the different universes or multiverse, I should say, and you can literally be on a planet that no one has ever been on before. And the whole vibe of exploring and trying to understand what resources you have available and converting certain resources to make oxygen or whatever to help your character survive, or even make rocket fuel to get off the planet and get onto a new planet. I loved it. I loved also finding ancient technology from alien civilizations, and then when you go to some of the outposts, meeting other civilizations as well. I liked a lot of things about this game. I can't wait to get back into it and play it some more. Really happy to have this in the collection. Here's a game I was huge into when it first came out. This is Overcooked, and I think they also have an Overcooked 2. I want to say these are released pretty much on every system out there right now, including Steam. But these can be kind of stressful. I know they're supposed to be couch cooperative games, but I actually found it was easier to play it by yourself and just kind of get in a rhythm of how you have different workers or different cooks working on different things and kind of forming your own assembly line. So I think this is a game I got a platinum trophy on, or I got all the achievements. Can't remember if I 100% it on PlayStation or Xbox. Doesn't really matter, but spent a lot of time on it. Spent enough time on it that I did everything in the game, and I would do it again. That's how much I like this game. So definitely check out Overcooked if you've never played it before. And speaking of the overs, this is Overwatch. I think now we're on Overwatch 2. I don't even know if this is playable. I had this digitally. Digitally is where I bought this on both Xbox and PlayStation. But I was in a GameStop and I saw the physical copy of this disc. So I picked it up. It was only $1. Probably doesn't work since it was that cheap. And I don't know if the servers are even up and running supporting this anymore. It doesn't matter. I put in a lot of time with Overwatch. I had a great time playing it when I did. I loved this game. I don't know if the second one is or was as good as this one, but if you played this or the second one, let me know in the comments, please. One of my favorite games, Persona 5. This is the standard edition. They also have made Persona 5 Royal, which I own on Nintendo Switch. This is the one I played through fully. I love this game. This was so fun. This is my first entry in the Persona series, if I didn't say it already. It really captivated me. Like, the environment, the music, the gameplay. It felt like Pokemon, but for adults. Like, it was a darker version of it with these different shadows that would come out and attack humanity. And I really liked all the different character dynamics. I really cared about the characters. I cared about the story. The gameplay was fun. Everything that game Astral Chain that I just reviewed wasn't. So, not to knock that game, but this is really fun. Definitely check it out if you haven't before. You will not be disappointed. You might sink a lot of time into it, but it's a great experience. Here's a game I bought on a whim. I think it's also currently on Game Pass, or it was previously. Not sure if it still is, but this is Rainbow Billy Leviathan, The Curse of the Leviathan. There you go. I bought it mainly because it's different. It's colorful. It kind of reminded me of Mr. Driller, if you're familiar with those games. I don't think it plays at all like it, but the art style kind of pulled me in. That's kind of why I bought it. It was cheap enough. It was a blind buy. I've spent a few hours on this. It's a platformer. I'll likely get back into it at some point, but let me know if you've played this one. And Ratchet and Clank. So, fun story about this. This is the first Ratchet and Clank game I ever played, and I wasn't disappointed by it at all. I loved this game. I know that they did some little enhancements and tweaks to the story from the original PlayStation 2 release. I don't care. This is the one that I love, and I had a great time with it. I'm currently playing through Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart on PlayStation 5. Probably about halfway through that one. I gotta just commit time to it to beat it, but I'm enjoying the experience. I really enjoyed this one, and let me know if you've played it and enjoyed it too. Next up, a game that needs no introduction. It's Resident Evil 2, the remake. I own this game on so many systems. I have it on Dreamcast. I think I have it on Nintendo 64, PlayStation 2, or PlayStation, I'm sorry, PlayStation 1. I own it here. I never beat the game before getting this copy, and I played through it. I beat it. I enjoyed it. I don't know if to me it's as iconic as everyone talks about, mainly because it felt like the story kind of went in a drastically different area towards the later part of the game. But that's just personal preference. I don't really care. It's still a great game. It's a great experience. Is it my favorite Resident Evil? No, I'd probably give that to Resident Evil 4. but I really enjoyed this one. It was a good time. Here we have Resident Evil 7 Biohazard, and you'll notice this is also a PlayStation VR game. I did play it in VR, and man, it was spooky. It was crazy having the enemies coming at you and feeling like the whole what's the word I'm looking for? Feeling the tension, feeling the frightfulness of everything. I really enjoyed this game. I like that they kind of returned to their roots a little bit here, but also made it a little more actiony. I never played six, but I heard that six wasn't that good. So when I say return to their roots, that's what I meant. Is like Resident Evil is back with this game. If you played this one, let me know your thoughts. Also with Resident Evil 2, let me know which one you prefer more. Here's another fun VR game, Rick and Morty Virtual Reality. So I played this one a good amount. I don't think I actually beat it. I don't know why. I think I just got stuck on something. They don't really tell you what you need to do. You just kind of got to figure it out. But it's true to the cartoon show. Like you've got Rick and he's the alcoholic burping and everything. You got Morty. I had a good time with this one. I recommend this if you're a fan of the show Rick and Morty. I know it's fallen off in recent years, not as popular as it once was, but it was a fun time with this game. Next, we have Rise of the Tomb Raider. I know that the Tomb Raider franchise had kind of a resurgence over the last few years. This is one of those games that was part of that quote unquote resurgence I'm talking about. I played this one a little bit. I didn't get too deep into it, but it looks beautiful. I can't wait to play it a little bit more and hopefully complete it. Here's a game called Risk of Rain 2. This also includes the original Risk of Rain on the game. I can't remember if I played Risk of Rain 2 or if I just started with Risk of Rain, the first one. My gut's telling me I started with the first one so that I wouldn't be lost with whatever was going on with Risk of Rain 2. I played it for maybe an hour or two. It's a fun premise. Definitely got to get back in and check it out a little bit more. If you play this one, let me know. Next up, we have Road Rage. I bought this because I'm a huge fan of Road Rash for the Nintendo 64. I know before then they had Road Rash games for I think like Sega Saturn and even PlayStation, some of the other systems out there. 3DO might have had a copy. So I bought this thinking it would be kind of a throwback to that, like a love letter, if you will. It's close-ish, but not really it at all. Like it's fun to just drive around and like knock people off their bikes, but it doesn't really have a whole lot of substance to it that I was looking for. Maybe I'm wrong on that. Maybe I just need to give it a little more time, but it wasn't nearly as fun as I remember having with Road Rash 64. Here's a game I know nothing about. I picked it up because it was $1 at GameStop. This is Rocket Arena Mythic Edition. I think this might be a online only game, and that's probably why it was so cheap. And maybe the servers aren't up and running like they should be. But I don't know if I'm ever actually going to play this again. Picked up because it was $1. Can't really go wrong with spending $1. Next, Scarlet Nexus, still sealed. This I picked up for $5 from a GameStop. I really know nothing about it. I think it's an RPG. I've heard people play it and talk about it as being such a great game. It was on Game Pass for the longest time. Should have played it there and kept my copy still sealed. I'll probably get to this at some point, but if you played this, let me know your thoughts on it. Curious to know why it was so cheap for a new copy. Did it not sell well? Is it not a good game and the review that I'd heard about it being good was inaccurate? Let me know. I'm curious to know what's up with this game. Shadow of Mordor. So when I bought this game, I didn't know it was a Lord of the Rings related IP property. I'm not really that big into Lord of the Rings. I watched all the movies just one time. I know some people are probably going to murder me in the comments on that, but Lord of the Rings, it's one of those movies, one of those series where one and done, right? I watched it, I experienced it. I don't really feel the need to go back and relive it. So I got into this, and there are all these different like orcs and elves and stuff. I don't know why. I wasn't sucked in. I think that's why. It's because I'm not really sucked into that type of entertainment to begin with. Um, I lent this game to a buddy of mine. He played through it, beat it in about a week or whatever. Really enjoyed it. Said it was a good game. I think now you can find this for $10 or less. So at that price, it's probably worth it. But um, didn't really suck me in. Maybe I'll get back to it one day. Maybe not. Who knows? Here's some games that were initially released on the Xbox. No, I'm sorry, the Dreamcast. Shenmue 1 was a Dreamcast game, and then they put Shenmue 1 and 2 on Xbox, and then they since remastered them here. I think this also got an Xbox One release. I'm not sure on that one. Let me know in the comments if I got that right or not. But I played through this. I absolutely loved the premise behind it. Shenmue 1 especially was pretty engrossing. I played number 2 on here and I tried to beat it, but something happened where the game just like glitched out on me. It was like I was supposed to meet someone at 12 o'clock at this lobby of a building, and the person never arrived or it never turned 12 o'clock. I don't know. Something stupid happened where I just couldn't actually progress the game. And I tried going back, I tried turning off the power, I tried reloading a prior save state, etc., etc. I couldn't progress the game, so I just stopped playing. It's unfortunate because I'd like to know how it ended, and I was pretty close to getting a platinum trophy on it. Whatever, what can you do? Next up, we have Skyrim. Now, this one, I mentioned how certain games have the PlayStation 5 upscales. This is confirmed one of them because I put it in my PlayStation 5 a few nights ago and automatically asked me if I wanted to update to the enhanced version for free 99, and I did. Um, I love getting lost in this open world type of game. I'm going to probably go back and replay it some and just explore different things or do stupid stuff like start random fistfights with people and record it for you all. But I like this game a lot. It's one of those games I almost got a platinum trophy on it, but I know there was a part where you had to collect it's like 40 or 50 Daedric artifacts. And I missed one of those little suckers early on in the game. And it was one that if you missed it, you were kind of screwed. So fortunately, I didn't get the platinum trophy on that playthrough. Who knows? Maybe I go for it again this time on PlayStation 5. Uh-oh. Another copy. What's this? Two Skyrims. Well, this one's actually the VR version. So playing Skyrim in VR, whoa, do a little bit of a mind blow thing here. It's pretty cool to be walking around the terrain and looking and seeing like the river, seeing mountains, seeing the little cottage, seeing some dude with a sword running at you and trying to attack you. Really fun. Again, the motion sickness thing kind of kicked in for me. Wasn't fully my cup of tea because of that, but I appreciate what they did here. I wish if I didn't get sick, I would spend a lot of time getting immersed in this world. Skyrim alone is already pretty immersive. This ups the ante even more with VR. Here we have the SNK 40th Anniversary Collection. So SNK, it's the company that owns Neo Geo intellectual property. Now, growing up, Neo Geo is something that I was familiar with. They had a lot of different arcade games out there. They had a very expensive home console, and now the console is even more ridiculously expensive in the collector market. But it's one of those properties that I've alluded to in a previous video. I don't own any hardware from Neo Geo or SNK. I just don't. I want to get into it, but the barrier to entry, the cost to enter is so high at this point, it's not really worth it, especially when there's so many compilations like this and other things that have come out on Switch or other systems where you can easily get into the Neo Geo game without dropping Neo Geo money. So it's one of those games that I bought here. I also have the digital version on the Switch because at one point in time I was actually turning my Switch into a arcade machine. More on that later at some point, I'm sure. But I wanted the physical version. I picked it up here on the PlayStation 4 and happy to have it. Next up, I'm chuckling because this is kind of an obscure game. Song of Memories. So this is, and I'm reading from the back now, a timeless tale of love at the end of the world. Now, what does that mean? Basically, it's kind of like a visual novel sort of story, but they're like songs your character has to sing, and there's like buttons to beats you have to press as they sing it. And I don't really know what's going on with this game. I don't really care. I bought it because it was obscure. It's out there. Maybe it shows up in one of my videos later on weird games, but this definitely qualifies. I'm sure there's a lot more going on with this game, like why do you have to sing to survive a level? Is there something attacking you or your school or whatever? I don't know. Like I said, I don't really care. But I'll get to the bottom of it at some point. Song of Memories. Guarantee you probably never heard of this game. South Park, The Fractured Butthole. This was a lot of fun. Not as fun, in my opinion, as South Park, The Stick of Truth. I loved that game. That game really got me with the, aha, like I've never seen this done before sort of moment. This was great in its own right, but it was a little too derivative of the good work that Stick of Truth already put down. So this is solid. I like this experience a lot, but if you had to pick between one of the two, I would go with A Stick of Truth over this one. Another game I've almost platinumed. I want to get that platinum trophy so badly. This is Spider-Man. I had a lot of fun with this game, just launching webs from my hand, swinging across New York City. The missions were fun, the story was engaging. I had a great time with this. It's made by Insomniac Games. It's the same company behind like the Ratchet and Clank series and what have you. So definitely a fun game. Highly recommend this one if you haven't checked it out before. I believe it's also now on Steam. Here's another VR game. This is Star Trek Bridge Crew. I played this briefly because I like everything space related, and I was trying to just be VR out in space and be in command of a ship and looking out and going on the vast horizon. I don't remember if I got that far into this game to do what I wanted to do with it. I remember a lot of just sitting around in a chair and being on the bridge of the Enterprise or whatever the ship was called and just talking to people, and didn't really suck me in at the time. Probably gonna go back and give it another shot because, man, if they got the whole space exploration thing down, it'd be a lot of fun. Next up, we just did Star Trek. Then we have Star Wars. Star Wars Battlefront 1. Had a lot of fun with this one. I remember the whole part where Vader would come running after you with the lightsaber in the woods, and it was like, oh my gosh, what's going on here? So cool. And I remember you got like Yoda fight on your team too. I had a lot of fun with this game. Put in a lot of time with it back when it first came out. And then I also picked up Star Wars Battlefront 2. And I don't think I played this one nearly as much as I played the first one. Can't remember why, to be honest with you. But maybe it was because I got my fill from the first one and this was kind of more of the same. But I'm a fan of these games. I remember they had a different series also titled Star Wars Battlefront that came out on the original Xbox. I want to say the PlayStation 2. Those were a lot of fun as well. But check these out if you're a Star Wars fan. Next up, Super Monkey Ball Banana Mania. So the Monkey Ball games, I know they have a large cult following out there. I've never been the biggest fan of them. Maybe they're too challenging for me, if I'm being honest. Like the whole thing about the ball moving and having to move your platform and roll the marble or ball through the holes and whatever and not fall off the map. I don't know if I'm patient enough for that. But it is fun. The art style is great. I like the soundtrack. Just not my type of game, to be honest with you, but it was cheap, so I picked it up. And next up, The Evil Within. So this is a game that I played when it first came out. I got pretty far into it. I almost beat it. I don't think I quite finished it, but I definitely plan on going back at some point and reliving it and finishing it. This really was psychological and dealing with, what's going on. Is what I'm experiencing as a player, is it reality? Is it something that's in my mind or like a flashback? I really liked what they did here, entering the mind of a madman, if you will. So definitely a fun one to check out. I know they made a sequel, but I didn't really play the sequel. Don't know anything about it. Don't know if it's actually a continuation of the story or a standalone and just branded as the Evil Within. Um, if you've played that one, let me know. I'm curious to know your thoughts on that. So here's a game I picked up recently, and it's on one of my game hunting videos. This is called The Sinking City. I've not played it. I don't know anything about it. I just thought the whole premise of a city sinking, being covered in water, sounded pretty cool. I believe this is going to be more of like a horror type of game, so I'll definitely play this one night in the dark and see what it's got. Now, this, I can't tell if it's two games in one or if it's one game just with two titles. This is The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners. It's a VR game. I have not played this, but honestly, the idea of shooting zombies in VR or like stabbing zombies in VR sounds pretty awesome to me. So I'm sure I'll give this a try at some point when I load up my PlayStation VR. This game I own on probably every single system made. The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. So when this came out, I pumped a lot of time into it. It's got this little blue sticker on it because I think I bought it on like a Black Friday deal. So it was in one of those bins where, you know, $5 for the blue label or something silly like that. But I played this game a lot. I played all the DLC. I love just getting lost in this immersive world. Ironically, one of my favorite things to do in here was play the game Gwent. If you're a fan of Gwent, the card game, let me know. I put a lot of time into playing Gwent and getting really top tier cards for that. I know it's kind of nerdy, but I like Gwent. I've also gone back and since started playing The Witcher, the first game, on PC. It's available on Steam, so I've been playing that. And I have The Witcher 2 on Xbox 360. I'll play that at some point too. But let me know your thoughts on The Witcher 3. I really like this game. There's a game called Thief. I played this on my Steam Deck, not my PlayStation 4 copy, but this is a fun game. It's got a lot of sneaking elements to it. You're basically a thief trying to steal things, but you're trying to survive with stealth, so stabbing things, creeping in the shadows, all of that jazz. Now, the story wasn't super memorable to me. I honestly couldn't tell you what happened. Doesn't really matter. Is the experience that drew me in, just creeping around and trying not to get caught by people. So it's fun. If you can pick this up cheap, I recommend it at a cheap price. Definitely want to pay more than $5 for this. Titanfall 2. I played a little bit of this. You're basically like in a mech, like a mobile mech suit, running around shooting stuff, fighting wars. I put in a few hours in it, but I'd like to go back and actually play it through all the way. Now, I saw the first Titanfall in a GameStop and I went and bought it thinking, oh yeah, I'll just go and play the first Titanfall before getting into this. Well, stupid me. The first Titanfall is online only. So I doubt the servers are even up and running. I'll give it a try. I think I have that on Xbox. So it doesn't even matter. Titanfall 2. I've heard nothing but great things about this game, and it was cheap. It still is cheap. It's like a $5 or $7 game brand new. So definitely give it a look if you've got a few dollars to throw around. So here's a game called Tokyo Ghoul regarding or recall to exist. Now, Tokyo Ghoul is a manga, and I read the manga several years ago during the pandemic. It wasn't the best manga. I remember reading it, it was like, I'm not really feeling it like I am like a Dragon Ball Z series. But I stuck with it mainly because I'm stubborn and I wanted to finish it and see it through. So I got the video game thinking, oh, maybe this is more fun than the manga. It's about the same. I mean, the story feels a little disjointed. Things don't fully make sense. Characters kind of appear out of nowhere, and it's like, why should I care about this character? I tried to get into it. I really wanted to enjoy it, but I didn't. What can you do? Next up, one of the GOATs, Tony Hawk, Pro Skater 1 and 2. I played the crap out of these games on PlayStation and Nintendo 64 back in the day. Loved these games. So when they announced they were remastering these for the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox, I immediately went out and picked it up. I had such a good time with this game, both this and the originals. I highly recommend this if you're a fan of those games or just want to throw back to nostalgia that's true to the experience of playing the game from when you were younger. These won't disappoint you. And, it's still a great soundtrack, still great action. They still have all the unlockables and the reward system and stuff. And I love in number two, actually making your own skate park and all that jazz. Had a lot of fun with this game. Can't wait to go back and play it even more. This is one of those games I probably will get the Platinum Trophy on eventually. Here's a game I know nothing about. It was donated to me. Tropico 5. I think it's like a city builder, like a Sim City sort of game, but just in the tropics. I don't know. If you've played it, let me know. Here's another VR game I own, Trover Saves the Universe. So this is made by the creator of Rick and Morty. And if you play through it, you're going to hear the same voices. It's got the same crude sort of humor to it. I think they've since released this on other platforms. It's not going to be a VR game. It's going to be just a standard game. But it's quirky. It's out there. If you can pick it up cheap, I recommend that. Next up, Uncharted. This is the Nathaniel Drake collections. This includes Uncharted 1, 2, and 3, all remastered and on one disc. I can't remember if I played them here in one disc or if I played them on PlayStation 3, I think is where they were all released on. Maybe Uncharted, the first one was PlayStation 2. I can't remember, but I definitely played all the games. I enjoyed them. I think number two was my favorite, but if you have a favorite one, let me know. Following up with that one, Uncharted 4. Now, I know some people like this one the most. This was great, but I still think I like number two the most. Again, let me know which one you think is the best. Here's a game that I saw is just now getting redone for the PlayStation 5, or recently is redone for PlayStation 5. This is Until Dawn. Now, I haven't yet loaded this version into my PS5 to see if they automatically upgrade it for me. I'm hoping they do. But here's a game where when it first came out, I was super excited to play it. I enjoyed it. I know there are different endings. I think in my initial playthrough, I had an ending where like some people lived, some people died. But I want to go back and try to get an ending where everyone lives. And then conversely, I want to be that guy where I play through and everyone dies too. So I'm definitely going to play this again. Probably be something I pull out in October. But definitely check out Until Dawn if you haven't played this before. Next up, we have Watch Dogs. I played a little bit of this, but it's an Ubisoft game. Ubisoft, they've got that model, the rinse and repeat. Things start to feel repetitive. So I didn't really invest a lot of time in this because I got kind of tired of it, but it's a pretty cheap game. Next up, we have Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy. Now, I actually had a lot of fun with these games. The Wheel of Fortune ones are a lot of fun. It's fun to play against the computer and kind of test your skill. Jeopardy is interesting because they're going to read the question. The answer is going to have like a multiple choice, like A through D or A through C or something like that. So the answer's already given. You just have to guess the right one. I know some of the older Jeopardy games, you have to like either type it in or do something else like that, where it's a little bit more challenging, but I like these games. It's $15 for both of them together, so I had fun with it at that price. Next up, WWE 2K16 with Stone Cold Steve Austin on the cover. I haven't played this game too much. I mean, a lot of these newer wrestling games, I don't know what it is about it, but for some reason the controls don't really draw me in. Like I'm used to the old Nintendo 64 controls where like you press the bottom C button, the yellow button, and you run, and you press B to punch or A to grapple. Like it just seemed very simple to me. These games you got to do like R2 plus X plus move the joystick plus this or that. I don't know. Just trying to figure out how to run or like grapple someone and whip them off the ropes. I don't know. God forbid I'm trying to actually pull a chair out from under the ring or from the crowd too and use it. I don't know. So I didn't get too far into these games. Curious to know if you've played these WWE games, if they're fun. I do have some of them on other systems or like more recent ones on PlayStation 5. But again, when I tried to play that one on PlayStation 5, I didn't actually wrestle. I was just doing the WWE management mode where I was like running Raw and signing talent and putting out promos and trying to beat the other brands on TV for the cable rating war. So, what can you do? Next up, Yakuza 0. So, this is the first one I played. I know this was made after some of the other Yakuza games, kind of went back as a prequel. I really liked here what they did with Majima, and he's not really all that crazy here in number 0. It's only towards the end he kind of loses his mind and becomes the Majima that you know in the rest of the franchise. But this was an awesome entry. I recommend this one if you haven't played it. And next up, we have Yakuza Kiwami. This is the first Yakuza game that ever came out way back on PlayStation, just PlayStation 2, I'm sorry, just remastered and upscaled and all that jazz. Great game. I really like this one a lot. This is probably my favorite that I've played so far because I've also played Yakuza Kiwami 2. Now, this version is sealed. That's because all these Yakuza games are on Xbox Game Pass, and they've been for the longest time. I don't see them going anywhere. So I just play them there. And I'm going to keep my copies here sealed while I have them. Maybe they'll go up in value one day, maybe not. I don't care. I'm not trying to resell games. I don't really care about the quote unquote value I can get for them as long as they don't lose value to me as the collector holding on to them. So This one here, I remember this was great because the villain. This is one of the best villains in all the Yakuza games. He was relatable, like kind of was a jerk, but you understood why he was. Like he was consistent. You respected him even when he was being not nice to you, and you understood why. So I like that a lot about that villain. Great game, probably my second favorite after the first one. And then I have the Yakuza Remastered Collection. So this has all the other ones and number five and all that jazz. Again, haven't opened this one. There's three, four, and five in it. Haven't opened it because they're all on Game Pass. The furthest I've gotten is three. I'm on number three where they're in Hawaii. No, I'm sorry, they're in Okinawa. Hawaii is the more recent one where they're like pirates or whatever they're doing. So they're in Okinawa, and I'm right at the very end. I just need to go back and like do the final chapter boss battle on that, and then I'm going to keep playing through with four and five and all the others. I've never played the Like a Dragon series, mainly because I'm still working on these ones and I want to go through these games first. But I've heard great things about the Like a Dragon series as well. Next up, Ys 8, Lacrimosa of Dana. I know nothing about this game. I've played one Ys game, Ys, whatever. I think there's like 9 or 10 of them total. I played, I think it's Ys Origins or something, I'm not mistaken. So, played that one. I think I own the others on Steam. And then I've got this one, and I even have one over on PlayStation Vita. I don't know what I have. You'll see it at some point as I do more of these videos. I'm excited for this. So when I went to buy this at a game store, it was listed for a certain price. And when I went to check out, they're like, oh, well, this price has been updated in our system. It's actually more expensive, but we're going to give it to you for the price listed on it. So I was like, okay, cool. It's sealed. I didn't need a sealed copy. I would have been happy with a used copy because I plan on playing it. But I'll open it at some point. I'm looking forward to playing this. Now, the people that I watch on YouTube, I know that they love number eight. Eight is like one of the favorites among East fans. I'm sure I'm going to love it too. But if you played this one, let me know your thoughts on it. It's definitely a good action RPG from my understanding. Okay, and last but not least, last game in my collection here. Eurokill, the col, columniation games? I don't know. This game is interesting because it's part visual novel, part shoot 'em up game. And I believe it's all in Japanese with English voiceovers or subtitles or whatever, I think. I haven't actually played it. I've seen videos talking about this game. I've heard about it. I've been familiar with it for a long time. I plan on booting this one up very soon. I'll probably live stream it when I do. This is supposed to be just like a weird game. Like there's nothing else like it that I've heard of. So, have you played this one? Let me know your thoughts. I'm definitely curious to find out what you think about that. So there we are. That's my PlayStation 4 collection in a nutshell. 106 games, and I'm looking forward to growing that collection even more. As I mentioned earlier, these games are going on sale right now. Now is the time to buy PlayStation 4 games, especially as your stores like GameStop, Walmart, Target, etc. look to get rid of their inventory of these games to make way for either PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X games, or as these stores start realizing, hey, this digital model that the companies are starting to espouse is going somewhere. So definitely be on the lookout. You can find some surprising deals out there. That's why you'll see me looking around at the clearance sections of stores. Now, also, as I mentioned, a lot of these games, not all of them, but a lot of them are going to have the PlayStation 5 upgrades available. So why pay $50 for a PlayStation 5 version of a game and you get the PS4 version for like $10? It's a no-brainer. I do that all the time, especially if you're in like a store like GameStop and you're able to actually compare like games that they have for PS4 versus PS5 and the pricing for each of them. Why not? Usually on the back of the cover too, it might even tell you flat out if there's the PS5 upgrade available, especially for some of the newer titles. Some of the older PS4 games that might have been released long and long ago that are sitting on a shelf, maybe it doesn't clearly tell you that, but once you load it into your PlayStation 5, the upgrades might be available. So you never know, right? You owe it to yourself to check it out. If you're a collector, now's the time to be buying for PlayStation 4. Mark my words on that. So as always, everyone, thanks so much for bearing with me through this video. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you next time.